I hid my son from my father because I don't like his wife. Am I the a-hole? This is OKOP, the home of the craziest stories on earth. I'm Sam, and John, is OP the a-hole for hiding the son?
I am going to wildly guess that there is a good reason. So I am going to say not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Not the a-hole.
There's only one way to find out.
Spill that tea!
This story comes from Throwaway New Mom, which I guess is a throwaway account.
Yeah.
All of these are throwaway accounts. So this first post, November 7th, 2023. My 26...
That's an age.
Got a little coffee ground
Sam
stuck
really
in the throat.
hates OP.
My 26 female father, 59 male, has been dating Paula, quote unquote,
Paula.
38 female, for 4 years. I never got to know her well, as I was about to move out when we met. My sister, 20 female, still lives between our parents and likes Paula, but finds her annoying.
Ouch.
Paula sounds like a cheese grater. Paula has an odd attitude towards pregnancy. It became the most obvious when my cousin announced that she was expecting back in 2021. Her daughter would be the first great-grandchild. We hadn't been sure my grandma would be around for that. And after an emotional announcement in which everyone was overjoyed, Paula commented that she felt it wasn't a big deal.
Who cares?
I didn't get what all the fuss is about. Imagine like everyone crying, celebrating. Paula's like, bruh. Anyway, she kept that stance for all 9 months. Damn. But once the baby was born, Paula suddenly became a bit too interested in her, which my cousin was clearly uncomfortable with. Paula, why are you changing your tune?
Make up your mind.
Be fucking consistent,
Come
Paula.
on.
My husband, 28 male, and I announced our pregnancy earlier this year. Congrats, OP.
Congrats.
At first, my father was over the moon since this is his first grandchild. I believe that would last. The feeling of just happiness.
We thought it would be, and so well.
But
Oh, there's always a but.
you gotta just put that booty in our faces, don't you?
But.
As I heard from my sister, Paula was just as condescending as we expected, if not more. Whenever I announced anything about my pregnancy or baby, sex, first kicks, ultrasound, pictures, etc. Honestly, we shouldn't be talking about baby sex, but Paula always reacted with one of 3 phrases. Okay, that's not a big deal. Or is that all she talks about these days? Paula, you're insufferable.
Just be like, oh, awesome. Congrats.
Isn't baby sex the best?
Bombastic side eye.
Because you're just raw dogging it the whole time.
With a baby?
No. Like baby making sex. So sorry. Baby making sex.
The word making has never been more important. The word making has never been more important.
Bro, are you having baby making sex?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
So how do you
theoretically,
know?
wouldn't
Dude, you're bricked up
Because-
building Legos
bro.
with shorties in your room all day.
Yeah. Also, we gotta go over this.
Oh,
Riley
shit.
had a big date last night.
did.
Okay,
I
story
came
time.
home,
Okay, story time.
I came
Okay,
home
story
at
time.
1:30 a.m. and man was just whisking his girl outside. We're gonna go back to OK story time in a little bit. I want the dirty details.
myself up.
Anyway, back to this story. I didn't care about it at first, but after a few weeks, I started to notice my father was also losing any interest he had in my pregnancy. As the months went by, he became increasingly detached and standoffish. He started to either ignore or not pay attention to most of the updates I made on my baby. He also didn't come to our name reveal. We did that instead of a gender reveal. It was literally just a lunch party with a game we made up, or the baby shower because, and I quote, Paula doesn't think that's worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Who cares?
We're just your parents.
It's not that special.
My son was born on Halloween.
Good job,
And I
boys.
decided not to tell my father and Paula. After almost 9 months of excuses and disinterest, I didn't see any reason to. I was in the hospital for 4 days. That's a long time, is it not?
Yeah, wow.
It is a long time.
That is a
Maybe,
long
yeah.
time.
I
Well,
remember-
not a long time. The birth taking 4 days, but being in the hospital for 4 days.
Being
is,
in the hospital 4 days. That's what Obi
that's
said.
not.
That's a long time, isn't it?
It's long, but not like insane.
Unheard of.
Like I feel like
I
I've heard like 2
remember
or 3
in
days,
the office, Jim and Pam could only stay for like 24 hours or 48 hours.
and they want to stay longer. I
They
feel
wanna
like
stay longer.
staying another day or 2 is normal.
during which only mine and my husband's closest friends and family visited us. The day before we left, I posted a picture of my son on Instagram, and that is when my father found out, which is a big yikes. You don't want to find out about your grandchild on Instagram.
Through the gram.
but you deserve it. And maybe if you subscribe to my Patreon, you can get a little bit more video. My father and Paula are furious, accusing me of using my son as a pawn and keeping them away out of pettiness. They're saying I'm holding the fact that they missed a few dumb parties against them. My husband and pretty much my whole family agrees with me. My sister, while mostly on my side, still thinks I should have told my father since this is his first grandchild and he had to find out he was born through social media. She thinks this is all Paula's fault and I should apologize to our dad. Am I the a-hole? John, I want to know what you think. Everyone in the comments, please let us know what you think. But is OP the a-hole?
You know what? I was going to say one answer, and then in the split second that you were talking, I changed my mind. Yes.
Really?
Just barely. You know, we have our a-hole meter, but I think they're right above the line of like, I think just mentioning it like, oh, hey, gave birth yesterday. I know it's been like so annoying, but just telling the dad, I think Paula is deserved nothing. Like, I don't care about Paula. She'll obviously find out, but she'll just be like, lol, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they literally have shown no interest. So if you're showing I think, yes, it probably makes sense to showcase regardless.
Yeah.
Like that's the most empathetic thing to do. But the fact that they showed no interest, then it's like, okay, I guess you're not interested. So I'm going to unsubscribe you from my sick YouTube channel when I'm showing you this, baby.
Yeah. I don't think it's like a big deal at all. I think it's like the tiniest little thing because of how they treated them.
Yeah.
But I'll still go the
Go a
a-hole.
little a-hole. So relevant comments. And there's also an update, by the way.
Ooh.
Big ol' update.
Woo.
But relevant comment. The realistic site 3952 says, not the a-hole, but I think you need to have a conversation with your dad. You need to let him know he will inevitably miss out on a lot more if he continues to mirror Paula's indifference in shared family milestones. It's not everyone else's responsibility to compensate. If he intends to have a relationship with his grandchildren and also have a relationship with other relatives, he needs to be willing to do his part as well as express interest and participate. And no, it isn't about showing up to parties. It is about making the effort to be included when you are invited to be and not dismiss those invitations as if they are meaningless. OP response. I'm trying to make that clear to them. My father missed my graduation. Not coming to my baby shower doesn't bother me that much. It sounds like the father's just like not an involved father.
He sounds like he sucks.
It's the condescending attitude and the lack of interest they both have been displaying my entire pregnancy that made me decide not to tell them. And there is another comment. Substantial Youth 9106 says, not the a-hole. All of the everyone's an asshole here replies are dumb as hell. Paula has your dad twirl around her finger. The only two in-person baby events that you had, they didn't show up at. And your dad was standoffish for the majority of your pregnancy due to Paula. He's a grown-ass man. He doesn't get to all of a sudden meet and be involved in his first grandchild's life when he barely cared before. Guaranteed he only wanted to come to the hospital for photos and to post to social media and show off.
Flex for the gram.
Apologizing to your dad will not do anything but only enable his BS. He needs to step up, put his foot down to Paula, and show you that he genuinely and actively wants to be part of your immediate family's life. Your dad can be updated via social media until he gets his face out of his behind and acts like an actual father. And then OP responds, my father is against posting pictures of children on social media, but he's definitely the type of person to try to show off in real life. That being said, I do believe he wanted to meet my son at the hospital. What do you think about that?
I feel like he like lost his right. Because like if for 9 months you're going to just be like basically side with Paul, and I think that commenter is so right. Paula absolutely has him wrapped around her finger.
Paula's pulling the strings,
and she's
for sure.
And she's the reason why he's like, well, I don't want to like upset Paula by being interested in my own grandson.
Grow a pair and think for yourself.
Yeah.
And then Portion of Sunshine says, honestly, the naming party I can see being like, well, that's a little dumb, kind of like gender reveal parties. But to miss the baby shower, my God. To ignore the part where you celebrate the parents and upcoming baby, give baby supplies so the parents don't get overloaded with prep costs, and even just spend time with your daughter knowing she'll have her hands full for at least the next year. Man needs to get his head out of his ass. OP responds, calling the name reveal a party was probably an exaggeration on my part. It was a small lunch with a clue-style game my husband and I created. I talked to my sister about it, and we both think that had I not told my father the lunch was baby related, he and Paula might have come, which is another red flag, honestly. The fact that he would come if it wasn't baby related and is not coming because it's baby related is pretty effed up.
So dumb.
But, oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. But there's a lot of additional information that we're about to get into and an update. But John, it's getting a little bit heated, so I got to take this jacket off.
Oh, God. These stories are way too hot and juicy.
My Am I the Asshole post from a few weeks ago was voted not enough info, which seems fair. So I tried to reply to whatever comments I could, but I don't think everyone reads those. So I'm writing this to reply to the most common questions that were asked in my original post, as well as to clarify some things that might have been misunderstood. Some of these are literally copy pasted from my comments, by the way. So let's get into it. Does Paula have, want/like kids?
Good question.
What do you think? Guess.
No, she doesn't have kids and she hates them.
She doesn't have children, and from what I gather, she doesn't want to. I know for an absolute fact that my father doesn't want more kids. She has also never been pregnant. She has mentioned that to my sister on some occasions. Paula, however, does like kids, especially babies. She was all over my cousin's daughter when she was born, and I have no doubt she'd do the same with my son. It's so weird.
I hate this woman.
It's pregnancy and the events that surround it that she seems to have a problem with. I wonder if pregnancy is a sore subject because she's either lost a baby or is infertile.
Now that makes a whole lot of sense.
That's put the hat on.
Oh,
That is my conspiracy theory.
I think that is like highly possible.
I think it could be.
Yeah.
But let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
So, 2, the age gap between my father and Paula. Paula is actually on the older side. What does that mean?
She's
On the older
oh,
side.
None of the many women my father has been with since divorcing my mom have been older than 35 by the time they broke up.
Yikes.
We got a Leonardo DiCaprio on our hands.
We really do.
I'm genuinely surprised they're still dating, as his relationships don't tend to last more than a couple years. And yes, I do realize that none of these things are good. As much as I'm bothered by it, it's not my place to say anything, especially now that I don't live with my father anymore. As long as they're both consenting adults, there's not much I can do or say about it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
3, why does my sister find Paula annoying? According to my sister, Paula's most annoying habits include frequently speaking in a baby voice, mostly around my father, Daddy,
The irony.
interrupting other people while they're talking, and criticizing random women on the street behind their backs.
Wait, what?
She sounds terrible. God, Paula. I don't know Paula well enough to be sure how valid these claims are, but I witnessed a bit of those first 2 habits during previous visits. The baby voice annoys me too, to be honest. She sometimes sounds like the 4-year-olds I used to babysit, but again, it's not my place to complain. Paula sounds cringe.
Oh, she does.
So Paula's behavior once my cousin's daughter was born. Paula would ask for more pictures of the baby than both me and my sister were getting, even though she barely knew my cousin. She made many comments about how she looked nothing like my cousin's husband. Yikes. She tried to get my cousin's daughter to say her name when she was 5 months old. Paula isn't her real name. Her actual name is longer and harder to pronounce. I wonder what it would be. And every single picture Paula ever took with a baby was turned into an Instagram post, most times without my cousin's approval, which is no bueno. God. Whenever we visited, Paula asked to hold my cousin's daughter all the time and hesitated to give her to anyone else. It's like the mother's like, hey, like the baby needs to breastfeed. It's like, oh no, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I got it handled.
I got it. Let me, come on.
Paula means mommy. That's what I
She
taught
can
her.
suckle on these teats.
Hell yeah.
Last Christmas, she wanted my cousin to open her gift for the baby first and got annoyed that an actual infant wasn't as excited about it as she was. She has also made a few comments about how my husband still hasn't bounced back. Yikes. And has spoken ill of my cousin's husband behind his back. So like bounced back from the pregnancy.
Oh, the husband? Like, did he put on some sympathy weight?
Well, no. So
The cousin who's had the baby.
Paula is like, why haven't you bounced back? You should be fit as a fiddle. Where's your 6-pack abs? What updates did I make about my pregnancy? Some people in the comments seem to mistake updates for social media posts. So I want to stress that I barely posted about my pregnancy on social media. I made maybe 2 posts while pregnant and another one to announce my son's birth. Those were only on Instagram. I hate TikTok. You. And my account is private. Many of my coworkers didn't even know I was pregnant until I showed up one day with snug clothing and a 7-month bump. A few of them didn't find out until I went on maternity leave. I do a large part of my work sitting down. The updates I'm referring to were made only to my family and close friends. They were mostly about mine and my son's health, and all of them were made either in person or by text/phone call. Most of the updates I made to my father were through text since I work and don't see him much in person. Also, my father and I have had problems in the past over me not telling him anything. And my relatively new habit of updating him on what has been going on in my life is an effort to remedy that. So I guess like the father's been like, hey, like, why don't you tell me anything? And she's like, shut the fuck up, dad. Seriously, I get where people were coming from, but I find it concerning that we live in a time where someone can't mention updates about their pregnancy without people assuming they're talking about social media. Then, did I talk to my father about his or Paula's behavior? Yes.
Oh.
Several times. He said he tried to be more involved, but never made any attempt to do so. He either didn't remember our conversations or genuinely didn't care. I'm fine with Paula not being interested in my pregnancy or the 2 events I invited her, and my father too. We don't know each other that well. What I'm not fine with is her rudeness whenever I shared any information with my family, as well as the fact that my dad let himself be dragged down by her behavior.
100%.
Did my father know about my due date? I told him about it several times. My son was born the day after my due date. At no point did he try to reach out before or during my hospital stay. My best guess is he forgot about it.
That is a great point in OP's favor because it's like, yo, I told you when the baby was going to come multiple times.
And you never checked in. So how is it my fault?
Anyone who's even like
Remotely.
half interested,
I would fucking put that shit on my calendar.
you would put it on the calendar. And even if you didn't, I feel like at some point you'd be like, oh, wait, like that date's coming up. Come on, daddy.
So let's get into the update.
Let's do it.
So initially, the post was voted not enough info. And then I posted additional info. And most of the comments helped me understand that I did the right thing. Maybe I was the a-hole, but I had the right to be one. My final conclusion was be rude to me through a hard time in my life. Fine. Have fun in the peanut gallery. I decided that I wasn't exactly comfortable with the idea of Paula holding and cooing over my newborn after almost 9 months of rudeness and lack of acknowledgement. So I told my father that while he was free to come to my apartment and meet his grandson for the first time, I didn't want Paula to tag along.
Good.
My intentions weren't to ban her forever, but rather to just wait a month or 2, or in a perfect world, until she apologized. We had a small fight over it, but my dad agreed and came to meet him without Paula. He visited us a couple more times that week. During these visits, he was cold and short with me and my husband, and I ended up being cold in return. This was admittedly not my proudest moment, but I was too tired and angry to care at the time. A little under 2 weeks ago, my paternal aunt and 2 cousins, including the one I mentioned in my previous post, came from out of state. My cousins stayed at my apartment while my aunt stayed at my father's. During her stay, my aunt caught several instances of Paula openly bad-mouthing me and my unfair treatment of her, but didn't comment on it at first. And then the day before she left, she watched my father not only agree with Paula, but call me childish and ungrateful as well.
Are you kidding
Paula's
me?
fucking wildin',
Are you
dude.
kidding me?
Wildin'. Like most of my family, my aunt knew the whole story. She told them both off for how they treated me during my pregnancy. My sister was there and eventually joined in. The result was apparently a huge fight between all 4 of them. Eventually, my sister started crying. She drove to my place and told me everything before falling asleep on the couch. My father called me and we fought. It lasted about 40 minutes. And after countless attempts on his part to play "but I'm your father" card, I managed to make it clear that I owed Paula nothing, least of all my time and attention.
There we go.
The next day, my aunt came over for lunch. She told us that after our argument, there was another massive fight, this time between my dad and Paula. She didn't pick up on specific words, only screaming. A few days later, my dad called me again. He apologized and promised to try to be more involved. I'm not sure how sincere he was, but I accepted the apology and told him he's on thin ice. I will help him be part of our lives, but I refuse to be the only one making effort. It's not my job to try to engage him in things he shows no interest in. And if he doesn't get invested in something, he can't expect to be treated the same as people who do. My sister went back to his place a few days later, and Paula wasn't there. Apparently, she's staying with her mother for a while.
Oh.
Whoa.
Neither of us know anything about that. If it turns out to be an actual breakup, my father will probably wait a while to confirm it. I never wished ill on her, but I'd be lying if I said I had faith in their relationship or any of my fathers for that matter.
I mean, fair.
Countless fights and a cluster feeding newborns later, I'm exhausted. I'm glad this is over. My relationship with my father is still very strained, and I'm not particularly proud of how things turned out, but my main focus now is my son, and it warms my soul to witness how loved he already is. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all.
Wow.
So it seems like the cancer is removed almost. Like Paula may have gotten kicked to the curb.
She could be gone, and Now that doesn't
And I
solve
hope
everything.
she is.
It doesn't solve everything, but that does at least remove one big kind of negative weight, I feel like, from OP's shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, like OP's dad still needs to show effort. Like
Exactly.
that is what OP needs in her life. But thank God Paula is gone.
Yeah.
What a terrible.
Big weight.
What a maniac.
Yeah.
Again, I think to your point, I have to feel like something happened in her past.
Yeah, it seems like, because we've read enough of these stories to know, like, usually when someone's weird about pregnancy and babies, but it seems Paula's specifically worried and sensitive around pregnancy, probably a miscarriage or probably some kind of infertility.
Yeah, it's like she's weird about the pregnancy because she's like, oh, I can't get pregnant.
But she likes the babies.
But she likes the babies
because that's what she wants.
Because I feel like she can like at that point, it's like, I can't pretend to be pregnant, but I can hold your baby and kind of think in my mind that.
There we go.
I mean, that's
Like mine.
our conspiracy theory, but I would love to know what you guys think. Put your answers in the comments. What do you think Paula is dealing with? Like, what do you think the reason is for all of this hate? We'd love to hear it. And also, we'd love to hear if you think OP did the right thing.
100%.
You know, like...
it was debated.
It was debated. I think OP did do the right thing by... I mean, I don't think she did a wrong thing by not continually trying to include people that have shown their disinterest.
Yeah, I think I would change my answer now to not the a-hole. And I like the way that OP put it, where it was like, maybe I'm the a-hole, but I don't just, he doesn't deserve to know after all the things that he did.
And, I think I kind of agree with that. Like, I think the best thing, the nicest thing to do would be to tell the dad.
Yeah.
But after everything that has happened.
It's the vibes. Like, you're getting back what you're putting out. Like, he's giving cold. You're gonna have to get back cold.
And also, it's your birth too.
It's your birth.
It's like, I mean, it's not your birth, but it's you giving birth.
Yeah.
And so, like,
I guess it is technically your birth. Oh, words. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
you're giving birth.
Your birthing experience.
Well, your birthing experience, like you're
birthing.
The person, there's a person birthing and there's a person being birthed.
You're right.
So I guess your birthing experience.
You're birthing.
You are experiencing the birthing.
Squirting a baby out.
You're squirting a baby
Your
out.
baby squirt.
Or baby
Can we
squirting.
call it that?
Yeah, but speaking of squirting babies into things, Riley, how was your date last night?
Oh.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. We got tacos and built Legos.
Okay, so can you give me the download of like how you guys met?
Yes. So if you saw our Christmas episode, you saw that they were wearing fun hats. I had to go get those hats. While I was getting those hats, I saw a cute girl behind me that had nothing in her hands at Party City. And I was like, what are you doing here? She said, I'm getting balloons for my friend's birthday. And I was like, how considerate. I started looking at all the outrageous balloons and saying, you should get this one. And I pointed at a Baby Yoda one. This comes into play later.
Oh, damn. Reddit story over here.
And then later that night, she matched with me on Hinge, and I was like, crazy. And then she was like,
damn,
oh my gosh.
meant to be. Wait, did you not get her number at Party City?
I did get her number. Yes,
You
I got
did
her
get her
number
number.
at Party City, and then she texted me and matched with me on Hinge. So later on, I was like, hey, we should do something. And then she came over. We got Legos, and one of them had Baby Yoda in it, and we built that one, and I gave it to her.
Wow, full circle.
Damn, full fate.
Okay, but Riley's leaving out the fact that I came home at maybe like 1:30 and I was like, I took a shower, I got out, I was like about to get into bed, my door is open, and I'm like walking back to the bathroom to get something.
I really
and
thought
then
the door was closed.
Riley and his lady come out of the room at 1:30 a.m. after building Legos. And she's like, hello. And Riley's like, hello. And then they run downstairs away. And I feel like I caught them in the act. Riley was bricked up for sure. Are you in love?
She's super cool to hang out with. I'm still a little rattled.
From the car accident?
From the car accident, yeah.
Around cars. Hey, sorry, babe. I'm just like, my boss, he just freaking almost killed us twice.
Yeah,
so.
I would walk you all the way to your car, but I don't want to get too near.
Is an okay story time for after the next story, actually,
yeah,
because we
that was-
haven't
I
told that
almost killed
story.
Riley.
Yep, twice.
Twice.
In one
All right,
day.
well,
That's
we'll
a
get
great
into
one.
it after the next story.
Let's get into it. I'm abandoning my family because I do not want to meet my dad's new kid.
I mean, I think if you abandon your family, you're
It's generally not a cool thing to do.
It's not, unless like you do like one of the
I, 32 male, grew up in challenging circumstances in a poor country. My parents struggled living in rough areas, and I witnessed their constant battles while they tried to raise me. Despite my parents' efforts, I harbored resentment towards them, and I felt they knowingly brought me into a world of struggle and suffering.
By like just being born.
I believe so. And yeah.
I think that's a little,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You don't?
I mean, like I don't know if you can just, if your parents are poor and you're just like, how dare you bring me
richer to bed.
how dare you
do it?
Yeah.
Be
Fucking
rich.
make some money before you shoot me out into this world. Like, I feel it's like a little whack.
Yeah.
Well, there are people that are like anti-birther and they're
know.
like, I wish I was never born.
Suing their parents. The
Whoa.
funniest thing is suing their parents for their own birth.
I've seen that.
Love
that
those
story.
stories.
It's fucking crazy.
Gotta love it. So now at 32, I'm okay. I live in a nice small apartment and make a decent wage. It's not the best, but it's out of poverty. And that for me will always be better. My dad's business took off when I was in my 20s, and they've gotten a way better life now than the one they gave me. Unexpectedly, my mom got pregnant again. Wow. And they're excited and preparing for this new baby, giving him everything I never had.
See, I feel like some jealousy right
I
now.
am very
like,
much-
I'm getting some
Is this
Yep.
red?
red flag. I mean, all right, wait. Just to conspiracy
Yeah,
theorize
let's
for a
switch gears.
second. I feel like my conspiracy theory is that OP never got anything as a kid, and there's going to be some like resentment that's going to be harbored for this child that's going to get everything.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to cause some
I
problems.
feel like that's exactly what's
Yeah.
about to happen. But let's find
Let's
out.
see.
The baby's getting everything I never had. A good home, supportive family, even starting a college fund for him and giving him all the opportunities I never had. It stirs jealousy within me.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
Instant confirmation.
Yep.
When my dad called, excited about discussing the baby's name and wanting me to be a part of their lives, I declined.
Bro, that's petty as fuck.
No thanks.
That's so
thanks.
petty.
No.
How about no? Because you weren't rich when I was growing up.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
You could, you know, maybe you should have thought about being richer.
The one thing that would change if there was additional context, because you can be poor parents and be the best parents on planet Earth.
Yeah,
because
maybe
it's
they
just
were
love
shit
and what's
parents.
up. But maybe they're crappy parents and we don't have that information yet, which if that's true, OP, we need to know. Now, I couldn't bear witnessing this child getting all that I never had.
Ooh.
My dad got angry and sad, claiming that I was bitter about things that were beyond their control.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it to me too. They were urging me to be the baby's big brother he knew I could be. I refused and ended the call.
Bro, OP, you're being a little bit of a wanker.
Very much so. Since then, my dad bombards me with messages accusing me of breaking his heart and causing stress to my mom. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for refusing to engage in my dad's new family and rejecting the role of being a big brother to a child who has what I never did?
I mean,
Gentlemen.
I want to know what everyone else thinks in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
But come on, like, duh. Right? Like, this seems only built out of pettiness. Again, unless the parents were actually
Bad parents,
abusive
yes.
or bad parents or intentionally withheld support from their children or their child, then yeah, like obviously maybe you don't want to be in their lives. But it just sounds like they were poor and they were working on it and then it worked. So be happy for them. They like their business took off.
It takes so much time to like build something and then that actually come to fruition. Yeah, it sounds like we don't know for a fact that the dad was building his business the whole time. Sounds like he was doing that. And then finally it took off after years and years and years of hard work of trying to build it.
Yeah. And maybe if you actually created a relationship with him, he would share in that wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just being bitter about it.
Truly. Well,
Which you shouldn't expect, though. You shouldn't expect.
totally. But we actually did, this was voted on whether OP was the a-hole or not.
A-hole for sure.
Can I get a little drum roll for the real? OP is not the a-hole. OP is the a-hole.
Frickin',
Oh,
okay.
I
All
got you.
yeah, you got me.
Keep you on your toes. Oh
He's
my
freaking
God.
juking.
That's
He's
right.
juking.
Double negative.
So yeah, this OP was definitely was voted the a-hole, as was here on this show. But we have a juicy update. Let's get it. One day later. Thank you for the advice, perspectives, and comments, nice and mean. I decided to call my parents and talk to them. I mostly did all the talking and venting and just told them everything that I felt. All about me all over again. Just saying. I apologized for hanging up rudely and said sorry to my mom for causing her stress. Also told them I needed some space, but I would still answer their calls and messages. My mom said okay, but jokingly said that she needed both her boys as soon as possible. That is sweet. That is cute.
The parents seem so understanding.
Right? And like, I feel like the parents are like angels.
Yeah.
Like, and OP's just bitter.
They probably feel bad too.
They probably want. Yeah, I think they wish they could have given him the life that he wanted.
100% agree with that. My dad did show up to my place against my request. It's not a surprise. He likes taking initiative.
OP's such an asshole.
Come on. But I let him in and we talked some more.
Okay, OP show, right?
No.
Thank God.
No. Yeah. Now you're definitely the a-hole. I told him exactly how I felt and explained that I'm not mad at the baby. I just wished that I had what the baby had. He was understanding and hugged me and pampered my face with kisses like he used to. He said
the parents sound so nice.
Right? Just like angels. He said he wished he could have given me that too.
Of course he did.
Of course. I'm glad we had an honest and good conversation. A lot of you seem to think I hate my parents. I don't. I love my old man and my mom to pieces.
Sure, I have a funny way of showing it.
For real. And outside of this problem, I talk to them nearly every day and we hang out a lot. I get they didn't choose to be poor and I know they would have given me more if they could have. You know that? Yeah, that's something that you know.
But it seems like this whole story, you don't know that.
It seems like this could have not been a story at all and you could have been like, congratulations. The story would have been, congratulations. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That would be the end. Congratulations on your kid.
Congratulations, the end.
I feel like man watched one Gary Vee video and it's like, you just choose to be poor. If you didn't want to be poor, you'd be like, fuck your parents and go to a garage sale and just sell a tricycle for $300.
My dad didn't go to every garage sale and like flip 1,000 like Michael Jordan sneakers to like give me a great childhood, bro. Fail at school.
That was great.
Thank you. Now, a lot of you suggested therapy, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
I get that I need it and I'm looking into it. Hey, at least you know you need it. And my dad offered to pay for it and I'm grateful for that.
Nice.
Already reaping the benefits of not being an asshole.
Great parents, right? I want to make it clear that I don't hate the baby and I know I was harsh by calling him my dad's kid. God, he is my brother. And I'll work on my issues for him and myself, and I'll love him unconditionally. I owe him that much. I'm not a narcissist, since some of you are suddenly a self-proclaimed therapist and or psychologist, nor do I want him to suffer the same me and my parents did back then. It was just jealousy, and again, I'll work on that end to see the good side where he gets the life that he deserves.
Awesome.
That is the way you should look at it. Thanks for reading me to filth and getting me to understand that my attitude isn't healthy and it's causing me to lose the 2+1 in the making most beloved people in my life. Thanks and have a good day. We now have to revisit the original question. First and foremost, is OP now the a-hole with the apology? OP still the a-hole?
OP is 100% less the a-hole.
Less the a-hole.
Less the a-hole.
I like it.
On the road to being not the a-hole.
Yes. On the path.
On the path. I still see a-hole-ishness
Yes.
in this update. Although OP is trying to clear the tracks and leave no trace of their stinking, smelly booty, dragging diarrhea stains like a dog with a marker attached to its butt all through the house. I can see the change that OP wants to happen.
He still has some ties to the dark side.
Ties to the dark side.
He's going to see the light very soon.
I do want to know what you guys think. Was OP the a-hole? Is OP still the a-hole? Is OP completely absolved of their a-holishness? Put your answers below. But I think we have another okay story time.
I think we do.
What was it?
Oh, I got it. Remember the one time you tried to kill me?
Oh, this is a really good
okay.
one. We need the full setup. Like this is give us the whole thing.
Okay. So, all right. The reason that Riley was afraid to walk his date to the car is because
traumatized. Yeah.
I traumatized him.
Yes. Same game.
So we were doing a collab that may have already come out by this time that
Maybe
you are listening with this podcast. Unsolicited advice. And take
we
a
need
chance.
some unsolicited advice.
Perfect. Let me roll up my sleeves.
and
'em.
their freaking studio is all the way in Burbank, which is like an hour away. Fuck Burbank.
I defend Burbank in the Valley.
I hate it.
I am a defender.
I
am a defender.
I will refuse to drive to Burbank. You may have remembered there was another story. Well, I wouldn't drive 24 minutes to go to Burbank.
That's right.
I hate Burbank.
That place was in Burbank
That
too.
was in fucking Burbank.
Oh,
Burbank fucking
dude.
sucks. I don't want to go to Burbank. Anyway, on the way to go to this interview.
Yes.
I'm driving.
This is his first time driving with me and John in the car.
That's true.
Both of them in the car.
First time ever.
Driving. Doing great, by the way. Excellent driver.
Sure.
I'm an excellent driver.
Riley's face.
And I'm driving, and this Tesla pulls out of nowhere.
Pulls out of nowhere.
And I slam on the brakes, right?
Yeah.
And I thought I was about to hit it. Luckily, we're like a couple feet from it, and we're like, oh, we're fine. It's chilling. And then a second later, boom, we're hit right from the back.
And I will say, Sam definitely did. The Tesla did appear out of nowhere, and Sam did masterfully slam on the brakes. Like I could
slammed.
feel the gears
and
grinding.
we skid. We
Yeah.
skid.
Oh yeah, we skid.
We
Yeah.
skid. And we got hit from behind, and I have never gotten hit before in my car ever. I've never
Yeah.
been in a car accident.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to get my insurance information. So I pulled over to the side, and this girl comes out, and guess what her name was? But Sam.
Not saying all Sams are bad drivers.
No, hey, no. Two out of two Sams got in an accident that
That's
day.
100% of Sam's
100%
gotten to an
Sam.
accident that
Yep.
day. So
I grab her insurance information. There's like a little scratch in my bumper. I'm like, probably not going to do anything, but I get her insurance information and we drive there. And Riley is rattled. Riley is rattled. It looks like he just got shelled in Afghanistan. Man is having fucking chopper flashbacks.
It
And
wasn't even that bad, sadly.
It was not bad at all. But Riley, how are you feeling, Riley?
Yeah, I was just like, because I got in a really bad rear end one time, and I don't know why, but like my body was like reacting as if it was that scenario.
Right.
So I was like, it's not that bad. Like, why am I feeling this way? So I was
well,
just
you're
like,
probably remembering that,
Probably
right?
traumatized.
Like,
That is like you could probably have a little PTSD from it then.
yeah.
Not to armchair psychoanalyze you,
As
But
we do every
anyway.
episode.
Riley is a little rattled, but he puts on a brave face. We go back. We go to the studio. We get there. We're in fucking Burbank.
Yep.
We do the episode. It's great. We have a great time.
Literally amazing.
but
It
literally-
was so good.
On the way there, we're like, hey, we're gonna be 1 minute late. We got in a car accident.
Which I also love how that literally made us only 1 minute late by LA standards is beyond incredible.
And we again, we had to go to fucking Burbank, which is ages away. We finish up, great episode, and then we head back. We're going back. We're still in Burbank, fuck Burbank, and we're staying at a stoplight, minding our own business.
He's looking both ways.
And then bam, we get hit again from the side. Riley is at the verge of tears at this point. Riley has moved to LA, and he's like, this is a sign from the Lord trying to smite me down this godforsaken land of Los Angeles. He's like, it's an omen. We pull over. Another lady has freaking punched me in the behind. I get her insurance. Her name is not Sam. She's like,
allegedly.
Can we just, maybe not do this in the church? Is there any other way that I could pay you? And I say, let's figure it out later, and get her number. Again, a love tap, but I feel like I probably won't do anything. It was just like a tiny little scratch, but we got freaking rear-ended twice in one day. And then John yesterday sent the follow-up email to the people that we did the podcast with. And let me fucking throws me under the bus.
Dude.
Wait, what?
I got rear-ended. It was
so
not
great.
my fault. It was not
such
my
good
fault.
email banter. I was like so happy when I thought of this. I'm like, oh, this is a great little quip.
John says, had so much fun doing y'all's show. Totally made it worth Sam almost killing us twice on the drive there.
Yeah, dude.
Like, bro,
Yeah.
no one's going to want to drive with me.
Bro, We almost died. Me and Riley are survivors,
We
bro.
were
survivors.
Fine. We were fine. Anyway, the point is, I'm a great driver, and y'all need to nut up and be fine.
We barely survived our trauma. Me and Riley are just consoling each other.
I don't know.
Every
Trauma
day.
Anyway, put F's in the chat for Burbank. Never
And
going
Sam.
there
But
again.
that's the chat for Sam's driving skills.
I'm like, I'm gonna explode.
He did keep us safe, so I'll give him that.
Keep it
We
safe.
didn't die. Yeah.
But we have not
Barely.
been in the car with him since, too.
Anyway, I totally feel the love right now.
Yes.
And if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.